Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum. We're just going to be doing a brief update. I tried putting out a video about an hour ago, and then I realized that the audio was all muffled halfway through. So we'll just quickly try to do another one. Generally speaking, Ethereum's looking pretty good today. Okay, I mean it's looking pretty good today. It's a modest 6.5%. So it's doing relatively well. I don't think no one's getting out of bed for 6.5%. But it is a nice move by Ethereum, okay? And it sort of begs the question, well, is the summer lull that we've talked about, is it still on, right? Or is something else changing? Well, I think some perspective is needed when talking about that, because when we talked about the idea of a summer lull, we did it at $4,000, and we're still trading at less than $2,400. So I think one of the biggest things when navigating crypto is actually being mentally prepared for theoretical outcomes. Right now, we look at Ethereum and we notice that it's up about 20% on the week, which is a relatively nice week for Ethereum. About 19.81% so far. Now, does this mean that we are about to put in a new all-time high? My contention is that it's likely not going to happen this summer. If it happens, I will be pleasantly surprised. But my contention is likely not going to happen this summer, and that we still need some time grinding out at some of these lower levels. Okay, if you look at the Ether Bitcoin valuation, we are trending back up right now, which is great. Okay, this is great. I think people, and I know some people, I've talked about the bull flag and whatnot, but I think that, as always, we need to be very diligent or maybe disciplined in understanding where we are. And that Bitcoin still being well below the 20-week SMA, we know that if Bitcoin goes down next week, then it's just gonna hurt the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation again. Remember, the main time when Ethereum goes on these crazy runs is when Bitcoin's above the prior all-time high, and furthermore, after Bitcoin's put in a new all-time high itself, when Bitcoin's above the 20-week, when it puts in a new all-time high itself, and then maybe when it's calmed down for a little bit. Okay, if you remember, that's when Ethereum went basically did a 2x. In a relatively short period of time. So right now, we are about to get a new weekly close, and therefore the 20-week estimate will change both for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. It seems like a likely scenario, or it seems possible that Ethereum is able to close above the 20-week SMA this week. Okay, so if you're curious, Ethereum's 20-week SMA is 2298, and the 21-week EMA is at 2185. So there's a decent chance that we in fact have a close above the 20-week SMA. However, we know that Bitcoin dictates the market, and I would say it's more so where Bitcoin is with respect to its 20-week moving average that will ultimately define, how bullish or how bearish the market is. Because while Ethereum is up 20% on the week, it's still about 45% down from the prior all-time high. About 46% or so from the prior all-time high. So I would say let's remain flexible. The way I'm navigating this summer is with Ethereum is to assume that it's more or less going to be humdrum, that we're not going to really go anywhere. I mean, earlier in the summer, we reached prices as high as $2,900. Here in early June, we were as high as $2,850 or so. And now we're at 2381. So again, we're continuing to play in the sandbox, and we know that Ethereum can have weekly closes below the 20-week. We certainly had them last cycle. We had several of them last cycle that went well below the 20-week. So the way I'm going to be looking at this again is just to remain relatively cautious until Bitcoin is putting in weekly closes above the 20-week SMA and also confirming it as support. Until then, I think as long as you have the right mindset for Ethereum and not become overly bullish in terms of thinking we're going to be putting in immediate new all-time highs, then I think this is the best way to go. And then if it does happen, then you're pleasantly surprised. Again, if you look at the Ether Bitcoin valuation, we're still, I'd say we're technically in a downtrend right now. In order for us to put in a new all-time high versus the Ether Bitcoin valuation, we would need to go up about another 24 to 25%. Okay. And for the constant price of Bitcoin, if we were to go up, say, 24% from the current prices, that would put Ethereum right at around $3,000, to give you some indication as to what that would mean. So we'll continue to watch. I would say watch for the weekly close on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look to see where we are. Look to see how far Bitcoin is from the 20-week SMA. And know that this is the line in the sand. in my opinion, for the entire, rest of the market to appear more bullish than it is. Because right now, I mean, a lot of coins are up. We're up and down, okay? You look at the last 7 weeks, a lot of altcoins have been going up and down during this time. Most of them haven't been putting in new all-time highs, right? I mean, Ethereum hasn't, Cardano hasn't, Chainlink hasn't, Polkadot. I mean, a lot of these are just sort of, they're moving back and forth. They're well below the 20-week, or they're well below their prior all-time highs. And I think part of the reason, again, is because if Bitcoin pulls back next week, then a lot of these coins can come right back. So let's be relatively cautious as we continue to navigate the summer. And again, the 90-day ROI on Ethereum by buying it in the summer tends to average out around 1. So, I mean, it doesn't mean every single day is going to be an ROI of 1 every 90 days. But, for instance, like buying Ethereum in, say, June, you would have been buying it at prices ranging from, say, like $28.50 all the way down to, to $16.80 or something. And therefore, the average 90-day ROI out 90 days is historically around 1 if you sort of take the average. So hopefully this is a useful update. Nothing really has changed. Ethereum's now flirting with $2,400, which is at least above the 20-week SMA. Let's see at the very least if Ethereum can get back above the 20-week SMA. And if it can, then I think the next thing to look for is, well, can Bitcoin do it? Can Bitcoin get back above it? And if it can, then hey, we're back off to the races. But let's remain cautious for the rest of the summer, especially until the market conditions change. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember, we do the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.